How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video of Oh No Sports. This is episode 5. As you know by now, this is the best place for your best NFL news, my favorite takes, my favorite bets of the week, and even a new featured sport of the week. So let's jump right into it. Let's talk about last week. Let's talk about the Bears bringing out a win. Let's talk about the Jets with a huge win. Zach Wilson looked like Aaron Rodgers out there. You wouldn't know it that it was Zach Wilson. He played out of his mind. Man, what a game. And how about this for a stat to start off episode 5 of Oh No Sports? The last time the New York Jets and the Chicago Bears won on the same day was December 26th of the 2021 season. That's about 2 full years ago. Shout out my boy Aiden. Shout out my boy Max. Huge diehard Jets fans. Rumor has it they cried on the night that Aaron Rodgers got hurt. But hey, the Jets are flying. They're playing great. So are the Bears. It was an exciting week 14. Now we're going into week 15. We got some good divisional matchups coming up. Got some hard-nosed football on our hands in week 15. We're going to talk about our best bets a little bit later. But first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to one of our first subscribers on this channel. Happens to be my wonderful girlfriend, Gabriella Korb, for this awesome microphone. Leave a comment. Leave a like, subscribe. But I want to hear what you guys have to say in the comments about what the voice quality is. How's it sounding? Is it sounding better on Ono Sports? We're always trying to improve. I'm always open to any feedback you guys got. So now let's jump into episode 5. Let's talk about week 14 a little bit because our fantasy football sleeper, in case you missed it, was Rashee Rice, wide receiver on the Kansas City Chiefs. He went 7 catches for 72 yards and a tug against the Bills. That's a controversial game. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But Rashee Rice, our fantasy football sleeper, went for 20 points in crunch time when we needed it, when I needed it. I picked him up in one of my leagues. He got me through to the playoffs. I hung on by a thread, the 8 seed and a 12-man. But anyways, our fantasy football sleeper, very successful. He played out of his mind. Another thing about talking about success on Oh No Sports, 3 for 3 last week in bets. Boom, let's go. Our whale play hit. Rachaad White caught a little receiving touchdown. We'd love to see that. And then the Baltimore Ravens was a huge sweat. That parlay with the Saints and Ravens ended up hitting. And then our Broncos, man. What a performance. Overrated Chargers. Hate to see Herbert injured. I just want to say that first and foremost. Prayers up to him. Hope he recovers as soon as he possibly can. Now we'll talk a little bit more about this coming week. We got a new segment on Oh No Sports, our favorite comments from last video. So why not start it right now? First and foremost, thank you for all the comments on the last video. I loved seeing that. That was the most comments we've had on any video yet. I want to continue to see all those comments because I want to reply to as many as I can, and I want to shout you guys out in each video. So from last week, we got Dallas Lee commenting and saying he wants some more Dallas Cowboys. Little pun on that. And Oklahoma Sooners feedback and a little more on the channel on Oh No Sports. Okay, let's jump right into it. Sure. You know how we do it here. We do it right off the cuff. So the Cowboys, I mean, don't need to say much more. I talked about last week with Michael Piska's comment about Dak being MVP. Dak is playing amazing football. CeeDee Lamb, if it wasn't for Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb would be talked about as the best receiver in the NFL. I mean, he's playing awesome. The Cowboys are playing great. Their defense is just special. They look amazing, especially at home. They're going to be a tough out in the playoffs. Then Boomer Sooner, I mean, Dallas, I'm sure you're at home a little bit bummed out about Dylan Gabriel. I think he went 30 passing touchdowns and I think he had 12 rushing touchdowns this season. So that's 42 combined TDs, and he threw 5 or 6 picks. I mean, it's a bummer to see him transfer. It really is, especially them moving to the SEC, losing their quarterback. He went to Oregon, in case you guys didn't know. He transferred to Oregon with Bo Nix leaving. Obviously, there's a big vacancy at QB there. I want to hear your comments about my opinion on the Cowboys and what you guys think about Dylan Gabriel transferring. And then we'll go into our next comment. Ethan Shikani, he said Tyreek Hill MVP. He's agreeing with us at Oh No Sports. And in case you missed it, on Monday Night Football, the Dolphins getting upset against the Tennessee Titans. Crazy game, by the way. Can't believe that happened. 13.5-point favorites. That's why it's so hard to bet on the NFL. That's why We follow our picks here at Oh No Sports. We do our research. We look into our picks because it is difficult to bet on the NFL. There's no doubt about that. But back to Ethan's comment. He said Tyreek for MVP. Give me Tyreek. I love that, Ethan, back at home. I love to see that. It was pretty clear to see how much Tyreek actually means to that team because look at their play calling when Tyreek's out. Like I said last week on Oh No Sports, when Tyreek's out, Jalen Waddle's a good receiver, but he ain't no Tyreek Hill. And they clearly struggled with that. When Tyreek knocked out of the game, Tua was struggling. He had nobody to throw to. The pressure was breaking down, coverage sacks left and right. I mean, I agree with you, Ethan, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts. As always, do you think Tyreek is the MVP? Because Ethan and I sure do, and I love that. We'll talk about my favorite thing from Week 14 and one of the topics this week, and that's Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to give you another stat because you know how much we love stats here at Oh No Sports. Justin Fields, my Bears Justin Fields, has a better touchdown to interception ratio than Patrick Mahomes this season. You heard that right. I'll say it one more time. Justin Fields has a better touchdown to interception ratio than Patrick Mahomes, league MVP, the golden boy, Patrick Mahomes, this season. I'm going to let that sink in. And I'm also going to talk about the lack of respect that Mahomes showed a great competitor, Josh Allen, in that loss. Like, I'm sorry, Patrick, but Kadarius Toney was offsides. Was it one of the coolest plays I've ever seen? And I've been watching football for a long time. Yes, and Travis Kelce is so sick, and that play was amazing. But, dude, he was offsides. I don't know what you're complaining about. And let's be honest here. You're the golden boy. You get bailed out all the time. So I hated that he didn't show respect to Josh Allen after the game. In case you didn't see it, he walked up to him. Allen said, good game, and Mahomes said some explicits along with, it's the worst call I've ever seen, man. The worst call. Not good game. Not, man, that was a bad call, but great job out there. Great game. Just that was the worst call. In my opinion, that's classless. Mahomes, crybaby. Not a fan of his, especially after the thing he did last week to Josh Allen. Not a fan of that. At the end of the day, the rules are the rules, even if you're one of the best players, if not the best player in the whole NFL. Next, we'll talk about the Miami Dolphins. We just touched on that a little bit with Ethan's comment on Tyreek being the MVP. But here's an interesting thing you probably haven't thought about because of how good their record is right now. Are they going to lose out? They've got 4 games remaining. They're playing the Jets with, shout out Aiden, shout out Max, Zach Wilson balling last week. Their Jets D is awesome. The last time they played the Dolphins, they stunned them. And Tyreek may be out. But even bigger, Connor Williams, the starting center on the Dolphins, is out for the year with a torn ACL. Prayers up to him. You never want to see a torn ACL in this league. It's always so hard to come back from. But are the Dolphins done? That's my question. So they got the Jets this week. Maybe they skate by him. Maybe they don't. I don't know. It's a good defense. Robert Sala's a decent coach. Zach Wilson's playing great. But the next few weeks, they play at home against the Cowboys. Then they go to M&T Bank and play at the Ravens. And then they finish it up with a cakewalk. Just kidding. Bills at home. I mean, it's not unrealistic to say they lose out and finish the season 9-8 after being 9-3. I don't know. I want to hear what you guys think and what you guys think about this Dolphins team because Tua's really special when he's not under pressure. But when the pocket collapses, he's weirdly got no athleticism. I don't know if you guys remember, but when he was getting recruited to Alabama, he was the number 2 ranked dual threat QB in the nation. Dual threat. For those of you that don't know, dual threat means you can run and you can pass. Like Lamar Jackson is a dual threat quarterback. And I don't know what's happened to Tua, but he's no longer dual threat. And when the pocket collapses, he's donezo. Next, we'll talk about the bettor's favorite part. Oh No Sports' favorite bets of the week. Our whale play, 2 of 2 in the last 2 weeks. Just going to say that. I got to say it. I can't not. I mean, it's just the truth. And now we're going to try and go 3 for 3. With an interesting play, I'm not going to lie. We got Aiden O'Connell, QB on the Raiders, over 203.5 passing yards at -110. Here's some stats to back that up. They play the Chargers. The Chargers have the 29th ranked pass defense in the entire league. On top of that, he is averaging 230 yards in his last 3 games. That's 26.5 more than his line. Also, he threw 238 yards the last time he played against the Chargers. I love this bet. I'm confident in it. And I love this for our whale play of the week. Our next play of the week. Eagles, they've been struggling. We talked about them last week. They're going to play on the road against the Seahawks. You know who else has been struggling? The Seattle Seahawks. 0-4 in their last 4. I love Eagles -4 here. This is almost a must-win if they're going to stay in the hunt for the division to chase the Cowboys. I like the Eagles here -4. And then our last bet of the week. We're riding with our boys. Danger Russ. Broncos +5. They're playing against the Lions. The Lions got kind of beaten down by the Bears last week. The Broncos also have a good run defense, just like the Bears do. The Lions have one of the best 1-2 punches at running back in the league. I mean, I like this pick a lot. Broncos +5. I think it's generous to give them 5 points, if I'm being honest. What that means is if it was at a neutral venue, it would be +2 to the Broncos. And if it was at home, the Broncos would only be favored by 1 point. So to explain to the non-bettors out there, the way that Vegas makes their lines is that a neutral venue, the line is set. And then whoever, if it's at home for the Broncos or home for the Lions, it favors the team 3 points. That goes for any spread. So if a spread is -3, then that means they're an even team and the home team is getting 3 points. Hope that makes sense to all those non-bettors out there. I always like to explain the best I can because not everyone's an experienced bettor and not everyone loves betting. So I love to explain it and make sure that Oh No Sports is here for everybody and all football fans and all sports fans. And speaking of sports, now we're going to go into our featured sport of the week. NBA. Okay. As you know, we go right off the cuff here at Oh No Sports. Let's talk about a little bit of the NBA. I mean, the young cores right now dominating the NBA is awesome to see. For example, Orlando Magic, Oklahoma City Thunder. They got some stars from a few years ago draft, just to name a few. Chet, he is a unicorn of a player. He's technically a rookie. He got hurt last year, didn't play at all, but I think he's going to win Rookie of the Year over Wembanyama pretty easily. He's unbelievable. I mean, he blocks shots. He does everything for the Thunder. Then we go down to Orlando. Talk about a young core. I think half their team's under 25 years old. They got guys like Jalen Suggs. They got Cole Anthony. They got Paolo Banchero, who I've been seeing. He's been called Baby LeBron. As you guys know, I'm a diehard LeBron fan, so I don't love that comparison because I don't think he's LeBron. But I saw the other night he put up 42 points. He's a bucket. He's a 6'8 guard, power forward combo. He's like a combo guard. I mean, he's nuts. I love watching him play. This NBA, it's enjoyable to watch. I don't love watching the NBA every night because of the amount of guys that sit out, but I like that they're kind of cracking down on that a little bit. And another story, obviously the Lakers just won the in-season tournament. LeBron and AD, if they play like that, I don't see too many teams beating them. I mean, AD had 42 and 20. That's like Shaquille O'Neal numbers. And then LeBron, I mean, you know I'm a fan. He's just smooth jazz, 27, 8 and 8. He won in-season tournament finals MVP. Another thing to put in his trophy cabinet. Pretty cool for him. But yeah, NBA is fun. I want you guys to comment what you guys think of the NBA, what you guys think of the Magic, the Thunder, LeBron, the Lakers, or who you think's the front runner to win it all. I'm not sure who I think's going to win it all, but I know it's going to be a tight race because there's a lot of good teams out there. Comment what you guys think. Just to go over everything one more time, I want to hear what you guys think about the Mahomes situation. Do you think it was disrespectful, or do you think he earned that right to be like that, even though the refs made the right call? Let me know what you think. Also, I want to talk about the Dolphins. As I said, I want to hear your comments. Are they about to go 9-8? And are the Bears going to sneak into a wild card? Are the Jets going to get a wild card? Let me know your playoff predictions. Let me know who you think is going to sneak in under the radar or who's going to blow it. Like, are the Dolphins going to blow it? I don't know. And now we'll review our bets of the week one more time. We got our whale play on Thursday night. Aiden O'Connell over 203.5 passing yards against the 29th ranked defense Chargers. I love that play. We're riding with our Broncos again, +5 against on the road against the Lions. I'm a big fan of that. Russ has been playing good lately. We're bringing it up with -4 Eagles, fly. They've been on a skid, but no bigger skid than the Seahawks, losing 4 of their last 4. I like the Eagles on the road -4 here. Thanks for listening. As always, love having you guys on the channel. Stay tuned with our Instagram, Oh No Sports, producing new content as much as we can. Have a great day. Enjoy watching the Thursday night game. Could be a good one of a few battle of backup quarterbacks. Enjoy this week. Have a great holiday season. We'll see you next week. Peace.